The 19-year-old Arkansas Tech University student in Russellville, Nona Dirksmeyer, had a beautiful soprano voice and a sensuous physique that attracted all the males. She won multiple beauty contests with her talent and looks. Nona was a bashful beauty queen, almost too shy. But public performances mysteriously changed her into a confident young woman. Russellville-based Arkansas Tech University student wanted to teach music. Student Nona met Kevin Jones in senior year. Once in college, they were inseparable and dated. Although Kevin transferred to the University of Arkansas, a 2-hour drive from Russellville, he didn't appreciate being apart from his girlfriend. He made every weekend home visit. The date was December 15, 2005. After spending the night together, Nona wrote him a kind letter in the morning. Kevin expected her to call or message him after her last exam, but she didn't. Kevin requested his buddy Ryan Whiteside, who delivered pizzas in Nona's neighborhood, to check on her as he had promised his mother to attend a holiday event at her school. Note that Nona lived apart from her parents, since she disliked her stepfather's stringent regulations. Kevin figured Ryan would phone to say Nona fell asleep. However, Ryan increased Kevin's anxiety. He rang Nona's doorbell, but got no answer, even though her car was in the parking lot and her apartment was lit. Kevin and his mom Janice stopped by Nona's on the way to the celebration. Kevin left his key at home, so Ryan and Kevin couldn't open the front door. The men proceeded to the backsliding door. Looking inside, they saw Nona naked and bloody on the floor. Kevin tried to help her as they hurried into the flat, but it was too late. Paramedics confirmed Nona Dirksmeyer's death. A metal floor lamp base was the murder weapon. Additionally, Nona had many knife wounds. Except for socks, she had no clothing, yet the forensic expert could not determine if Nona was sexually assaulted. When there are no traces of breaking or forced entry into the home, nearby victims are usually the main suspects. The cops quickly wanted to talk to Nona's boyfriend after finding her on her living room floor. Kevin answered inquiries at the police station for hours that night without a lawyer. Was Kevin a heartbroken boyfriend, and why was he so bloody? Detectives described their job as rigorous and interviewed 50 people. The next week, they concentrated on Kevin because the violent attack on the girl implied the perpetrator knew her and was passionate. Meanwhile, the young man did all the police asked and took a polygraph test. He made a big error because Kevin failed the test. The man maintained his innocence when the investigator confirmed that he killed his girlfriend. Kevin says he felt afraid then. Another reason the young man was afraid was that 6 days after the murder, authorities found important evidence on a light bulb near Nona. Only a small bloodstain was visible, but it was Kevin's palm print. Investigators quickly posited that Kevin was smeared in blood when police arrived because he was covering his tracks by touching Nona and the murder weapon in front of witnesses. Their mutual acquaintance, Adriel, says Kevin would never hurt the girl. Kevin's mother, Janice, said, "I always saw how he became a different person, better, kinder, gentler, when Nona and Kevin were together." However, the cops believed Kevin had a darker, more dangerous side. However, why would Kevin kill Nona? Besides being his girlfriend, he considered her his other half and believed they would marry. On December 15, Kevin arrived to Nona's apartment to find an empty condom wrapper on the kitchen table, which infuriated him, according to investigators. After Kevin transferred universities, Nona's friends told the police she started dating other males. All young males were interviewed and eliminated as suspects after checking alibis. Detectives were sure Kevin killed his beloved girlfriend after discovering she was unfaithful. Kevin was arrested and charged with murdering Nona Dirksmeyer on March 31, 2006. Only then did he grasp that 12 strangers may decide his fate and imprison him for life. Kevin killed Nona out of jealousy after seeing the condom wrapper, according to prosecutors. Seeing this wrapper allegedly made him angry and hit Nona with a floor lamp. After leaving the apartment, he contacted and messaged the girl to appear worried. He waited till dusk to return to the crime scene with 2 witnesses and find the body. All of the prosecutor's claims were answered by Kevin's counsel. First, an independent expert discovered that Kevin's polygraph test questions were bent to make him fail. Second, Kevin's bloody palm print on the light bulb was dismissed by the defense. Her murder occurred about 11 o'clock a.m. at Kevin's residence. The prosecution said Kevin could have murdered his grandmother before meeting her, but the defense said it was impossible. The trial progressed, and the jurors carefully evaluated both sides' evidence. The defense's arguments cast doubt on Kevin's culpability, while the police investigation's discrepancies damaged the prosecution's case. On June 6, 2007, the jury acquitted Kevin Jones of murdering Nona Dirksmeyer. The ruling ended a legal dispute over evidence, police procedures, and the prosecution's case. The true culprit of Nona's death remained at large after the acquittal. Investigators continue to search for Nona Dirksmeyer's murderer. Mother again and admitted she lied to cover for her son. Gary Dunn's alibi collapsed with this discovery. Dunn's violent and criminal past was revealed by investigators. He was also linked to Nona Dirksmeyer's stepfather, Dwayne Diaper. They worked together before. Nona's apartment's bloody footprint on paper was overlooked during the crime scene investigation. This imprint matched Gary Dunn's shoes, but not Kevin Jones. Dunn became the main suspect in Nona Dirksmeyer's murder as evidence grew. Gary Dunn faced capital murder charges on January 29, 2008. New evidence and Dunn's violent criminal background were presented during the trial. The defense claimed the evidence was circumstantial and inadequate to convict Dunn. The jury convicted Gary Dunn of capital murder in Nona Dirksmeyer's death on June 8, 2009. He received a life sentence without parole. Nona's family, friends, and Kevin Jones, who had faced suspicion and accusations, found closure with the case's outcome. The search for Nona Dirksmeyer showed the complexity and difficulty of criminal investigations, emphasizing the need to examine all suspects and evidence. The violent murder of beauty queen Nona Dirksmeyer leaves no clear answer. Gary Dunn, the main suspect, was acquitted despite many attempts to obtain justice for Nona. Kevin Jones was acquitted after a series of claims. After the investigation, Gary Dunn was tried twice without a conviction. The prosecution used DNA and a phony alibi to say Dunn was an aggressive predator who targeted Nona. The defense claimed Kevin Jones was the real killer, claiming Nona's infidelity sparked a crime of passion. In both trials, the jury couldn't agree despite Dunn's criminal background, including an assault on another lady, and the similarities between the attacks. Dunn is serving time for attempted kidnappings and indecent exposure after his second acquittal. The story asks how to achieve justice in complex criminal cases with circumstantial evidence and several suspects. It is unclear who killed Nona Dirksmeyer and whether justice can be served. Kevin Jones studied law after his discharge. He sued Nona's primary investigator and police chief for concealing critical evidence, denying him his constitutional right to a fair trial. Statute of limitations expired, so the lawsuit was dropped. Russellville still loves Nona Dirksmeyer. Who killed her is debatable. Some think the police were looking for a scapegoat when they failed to convict Kevin, while others think the criminal is still at large. The only person who knows what happened to Nona is her killer.